Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we have a few small jobs to do. We have to go into town to the co-op and get 2 bags of high yield dairy nuts. So I've recorded as much footage of that as I can, but I'm not really the guy that goes into a public place and whips out a camera and starts recording everything. I'm a bit sort of camera shy when you're out and about in public. It's okay when I'm on the farm, but out and about I'm a bit sort of skeptical. But anyways, there's a few things I want to get clear first in this video, just a minute, and we'll get into the action then. First thing is we got our neighbour's 6280 and front loader to take down and load these bales. These are still the second cut. Anything with the red paint and behind the red paint and any bales then behind the red paint, because there's 2 there that don't have red paint, and I don't know about the one in there, but the ones on front have red paint. So I don't know about them yet. They could be the first cut or the second cut, I don't know. But these here, excluding that one, just everything there that you see on frame. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one's 6. So we've 6 bales, and possibly those 2 up there, we don't know yet. These are still the second cut. The brother actually baled these, so there's net in these, while with these ones, our new contractor, because our old contractor retired there a couple of years ago, so we have this new contractor, and he just has bigger gear. He has butterfly mowers, he has a McHale baler. He just has bigger and better gear, so he just gets the job done way more quicker. But instead of net, there's an extra layer of plastic underneath the black sort of plastic here, the wrap. So there's an extra bit of plastic in there underneath the wrap instead of the net. So the second cut has net in it, and that one has plastic in it. When we get to the first cut silage, I will record a video of me putting in the bale, examining the quality of the silage, and I will also show you the plastic that's in it, because we have a different way of opening up those bales instead of these ones. We either cut the circle out of this and prog it with the bale splitter, and then bring it into the shade, and then slice the top of it and then take the plastic off, or we'll slice from the bottom all the way up across the top here and down there again, and just take the plastic off outside. That's if we have a sort of 360 access to the bale. If we can get to the back, that's how we do it, because it's just way more easier. But with this one, it's different. We do cut the circle out of it, we do prog it, and then there's an extra thick sort of bit of plastic in the middle of this, wrapped the whole way around. So we get the bale splitter, the knife, and we just slice the bale about halfway until it's past that plastic bit, because the knife kind of cut it, and then we use the knife the rest of the way. Take off the plastic, there's no netting to be messing around with, and then you can sort of just split the bale more easily. So that's that. I could actually climb up on the bales and see what the situation is behind those bales, because those ones are the first cut anyways, because they're going in the opposite direction. But anything with the red paint is the first cut. But it seems like there's, because that's sprayed with red paint, that's sprayed with red paint, that's sprayed with red paint. So I presume definitely the ones back there are the first cut, but these ones up here, I'm still not 100% sure. But we'll see when we get to them, because the first year's cut was up here on top of that, I think, when we took it down. Not 100% sure, but anyways, that's the silage bale situation so far for this year. We have plenty of silage to feed. In the last 2 or 3 years, we were so low on silage, we ran out of it, and we would have to buy it off a neighbouring farmer. And last year I think we had to buy like 10 bales or something. But hopefully this year we have plenty, because in the first cut we got 117 bales. And in the second cut we got about 84, 85. So we're comfortable on bales, we're rich with bales. But yeah, that's the silage bale situation so far. The next thing is we're feeding the Wainland heifers and the Wainland bulls male. I'll show you the male now. It's in this black bin here. I thought it was 303 because that's what we used to give them. We used to give them male a couple of months ago, and then we stopped, and now we're back at it again. And we used to give them 303, but for some reason we have sort of the crunch, not calf crunch, but just crunch. And I don't know what the reason behind that was, why we got that instead of the 303, but I don't know. But we're feeding the Wainland bulls and the Wainland heifers male. And you might be wondering what this is. When we put this trough in with the bulls and the heifers, the cows that are beside them, so those cows there and these cows here, would stick their head in and start stealing the male and using their tongue and flicking it all over the place and just making a mess. So this here is to stop them. If they cannot see it, they kind of, you know, they won't be bothering getting to it. And well, the cows here, they don't bother too much. They see the big plastic yoke in the way and they just said, fuck it, I won't bother. But this Goldie bitch here, by fucks, by any means possible, she will find a way to squeeze her head in. Even with that black yoke on it, she will find a way to squeeze her head in and get to the male. So I either just have it pushed out a small bit that she cannot reach it even when she sticks her head in, but these can reach it, or I would just stand here with a stick, just keeping her back away from it, and usually that works. But they get fed once a day with male, a bucket full. Every morning they get a full bucket, and they also get a full bucket, and that's every day, every morning, once a day. Now the smaller calves, when they're in their sort of creep, we do give them silage in a little yoke here, a little tin. We do also give them calf crunch, which they seem to be eating very slowly. They're not used to it yet, so once they get used to it, they get the taste of it, they get to like it, they'll probably eat it way more quicker. But for now, they're not really touching the silage that much, but they are nibbling at the calf crunch a bit, so that's good to know. We're still giving that black one there, giving her water manually because she has the thing in her nose to stop her from sucking the other cows. So I will push that out of the way. I gave her two. We should use the bucket, scoop it out of that, throw it into that, and I gave her 2 full bucket loads, so that should do her for a day. We do have 2 other cows actually with that thing in their nose, but they got used to, they found the knack to get water out of this, but this one here doesn't seem to be trying at all to get water out of the drinker. She must be lazy, and she's saying, yeah, I'll harness the kindness and the work that the farmers are giving me, the water in the barrel and stuff. But yeah, we do have 2 other ones. Well, she's a heifer, but we have 2 other cows that have that in their nose. And eventually they started using the drinker and found the knack, and they're all right now. But this one, I don't know what's wrong with her. And now probably the reason you clicked on this video, because of the title, The Moment of Truth. Dun 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 dun! Yep. It's not actually our tractor, but for the title's sake and for clickbait's sake, I just said it was. But no, this is our friend's tractor. It's a Case International, as you can see. 956XL. Obviously there's a few rusty patches in the cab. I think he wants to sort of get that sorted out for himself. But when you look beyond the rough patches of it, it's a nice tractor. You have to say it is a nice tractor. It's four-wheel drive. Yeah, you can see on the other side of the cab it's rusty as well, with patches of holes and stuff. I'd show you the inside of it, but the doors are locked. Won't open. If I can get a view of it in the window, if it works. I don't know how much of that you saw, but I tried to give you as much as I can through the window because the door is locked. It has 16 forward gears and 8 reverse gears. So it has 4 sort of gears and then a high and low range. So it goes from first gear, low, 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 high, 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 second gear, low, 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 high, 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 and so on and so forth. With the reverse gears, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, and then reverse low and reverse high. And surprisingly enough, it only has a 25k gearbox in it, so it only does top speed 25 kilometers an hour, which is the same as our International does, which you've seen in many videos. And you think now that this is a newer tractor. I think it's in the 1990. Our International is 78, so you think because it's a newer tractor, it's four-wheel drive, it should have at least a 40k gearbox in it, but it doesn't. It produces 95 horsepower. It uses the wet disc brake system. The fuel system is a direct injection. And that's the Case International 956 XL for you. Our new tractor. I nearly forgot. I'll quickly just show you the back of it. There's nothing major or exciting. It's basically the same as any other tractor. You have your link arms, your 3-point linkage, you have your hydraulics, your hitch. No. I was going to say, does that one suck out and suck back in again? It doesn't. It's like the 135 actually. There's an old pin and you can take that out and put in a different one. That's the sort of hitch the 956 XL is dealing with. This is the bag of dairy nuts that we need to get in the co-op today. The high yield dairy nuts. As you can see, it has this little description at the back. It has the formulated to support high milk yielding in cows, excellent levels of cereals, starch and quality proteins for maximum productivity, and balanced with vitamins, minerals and trace elements for improved animal performance. So that is what we have to get in the co-op today. Hopefully they have it, they should. They're never really out of it. And again, I'll try and record as much footage as I can in there. If not, I'll just record the footage of me back on the farm, unloading it and all that sort of jazz. Well, we got them. We got 2 bags of high yield dairy nuts. And it came to a total of €25.50. My God. Anyways, we'll go back to the farm now and we'll unload them. Right, we're back on the farm. And there is the cargo. We just throw them in here, and along with the other ones, I'll just put the 2 of them there. So I'll put the camera down somewhere that you can have a good view of both me taking it out of the car and me putting it in there at the same time, if I can master that much. Now that's that task done. 2 bags of high yield dairy nuts. While we're on the dairy nuts topic, I might as well tell you which cows we give the dairy nuts to and why. Well, I guess it's very self-explanatory that why we're giving a cow or cows dairy nuts. You can sort of understand really yourself. But anyways, we give this cow dairy nuts in a trough here, I think 2 or 3 scoops. I'll show you the scoop now. But while I'm here, we give her 2 or 3 scoops of dairy nuts because she only has 2 working quarters. Her 2 back quarters are the only 2 that are working. And well, she had mastitis and she lost 2, and we thought she only lost 1, but she lost 2. And we were bottle feeding that calf in the early stages when she gave birth. But she's fairly motoring now. Ever since we moved her into this pen on her own on the Schlats, we only bottle fed her once, and that's been about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So the calf now has been self-sufficient, sucking himself, getting the milk from the cow, and he seems to be motoring along well. He's lying down, sort of resting himself, so he must have got a feed there a couple of minutes ago while I was away. But that's the reason why we give her dairy nuts. And these 2 cows in here, we give them dairy nuts as well. About the same, maybe 3 or 4 scoops, possibly even 5. And we'll say 4 or 5 scoops. I don't account how many scoops I give them. I just throw it into the bucket whenever it looks right. I just give it to them. But we give her about 3, we'll say, roughly, and we'll give these about 5, 6 maybe, and the number keeps changing. But anyways, we give them a couple of scoops as well. I think it might have been the 2 of them actually, when they get calved there at the end of last year, the start of this year, they were fairly low on milk. They didn't really have a good elder, so we gave them dairy nuts at the beginning when they calved as well, and we're just keeping the supply of dairy nuts to them as well, just to give them that good elder and to keep that good elder, because they don't seem to be getting milk on their own, so they need to have a little bit of assistance, and that's why we're giving them dairy nuts. These 3 in here, we don't really give them dairy nuts because she was showing a good elder before she calved, and she still has a good elder, and she's loads of milk. We gave her dairy nuts before she calved. We gave her dairy nuts when she calved because we put her in the crush there and just milked her to see did she have much milk, and she didn't seem to have that much. So we just gave her a little bit of boost and gave her dairy nuts at the start. But she seems to be developing her udder well, and she seems to have enough milk to feed the calf every day. So we don't give her dairy nuts anymore. This one here, she had a good elder on her since day 1, I think. So I don't think we ever gave her dairy nuts at all. And you can see that the calves are doing well as well, I guess. While I was talking here about these 2, I realised that the Schlats have gotten out of hand again. So I'll give them a quick scrape out now. Now that's looking way more clean and more respectful. All the other slats seem to be fairly clean. That one isn't too bad. Anyways, that's that cleaned out. Once they're all out, when their calves are strong enough, when the weather dries up a bit, when the fields dry up, and when all these are gone out on greener pastures and the shed is empty, before they go back in, we do power wash down the walls, the barriers here, the slats. We do power wash all in there, including the walls. Even this passageway here where the silage goes, we'll do all that. And we also wash out our pens here. And then before the calving starts next year, or the end of this year, we do disinfect it. This whole passageway will be power washed out as well because of that makeshift pen and because of the piles of dung, which I will have to fill into the box, but you've seen plenty of that on my YouTube channel already, so I won't bore you with that anymore. But yeah, I know this week's content has been a bit dry lately. Not much, they're not really jam-packed with content. That's because more or less it's been fairly quiet on the farm, which is a good thing and also a bad thing when it comes to creating content. It's not the best, but a couple of weeks time, when the weather does dry up a bit more, when the fields do harden up a bit, we'll have topping to do, we'll have rolling to do. There'll be silage season starting, obviously power washing as well. I could get a few clips of that. But yeah, there's a couple of projects coming up, and there's more jobs as well coming up, so that'll excite things as well and put more content and more entertainment in these videos rather than me just the majority of the videos of me just talking over them. But yeah, please do stick by, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on the notification bell. And if you liked the video, please do give me a like, it really helps me a lot. And I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.